Hello everyone, we'll announce the world's one and only real-time chart, HANTEO Chart's weekly physical album chart starting now. This is your host, Joe. If you're curious about K-pop album sales, please subscribe to this channel and like this video. We'll go ahead and take a look at the weekly physical album chart rankings of the third week of October. Starting with the 10th place of HANTEO Chart's weekly physical album chart of their week of October, the 10th place was taken by Weekly. Their new album, We Can, was sold 11,351 copies in the last week. Weekly has made a comeback with the title track Zigzag, and the music video has surpassed the 10 million views only 4 days after the release of the video. So clearly, Weekly is definitely making a mark in the K-pop industry. And the song itself, Zigzag, is about a growth story of the teenage girls, like Weekly themselves. It's a very bright and cheerful song. And that was in the 10th place of HANTEO Chart's weekly physical album chart of their week of October, Weekly's We Can, that was sold 11,351 copies in the last week. Moving on to the 9th place. In the 9th place of HANTEO Chart's weekly physical album chart of their week of October is Golden Child. Their album, Pump It Up, was sold 13,083 copies in the last week. This album is a single album of Golden Child, and Golden Child has won the music show called The Show with the song. So congratulations on the amazing promotion. And obviously they are actively promoting with this title track, Pump It Up, and also the album. And they recently were showed on the photo shoot with a black leather jacket, and shown some more of a mature side of them. So I think it definitely suits the concept better, especially given that they have grown up so much since their previous album and the one before. And that was in the 9th place of HANTEO Chart's weekly physical album chart of their week of October, Golden Child's Pump It Up, that was sold 13,083 copies in the last week. And next up is the 8th place. In the 8th place of HANTEO Chart's weekly physical album chart of their week of October is Stray Kids. Their album In Life was sold 13,598 copies in the last week. And I guess since the release of this album, we have been continuously announcing that they have ranked within top 10 of the weekly physical album chart. And actually, this is the last week of their promotion. They have promoted with the title track Backdoor, as you know, and they have just wrapped up their promotion of 5 weeks, and we'll definitely miss their creative and very unique performance with this title track on the stage, and we'll look forward to the next comeback with yet another album. And that was in the 8th place of HANTEO Chart's weekly physical album chart of their week of October, Stray Kids In Life, that was sold 13,598 copies last week. This weekly physical album chart result is brought to you by HANTEO Chart, the world's one and only real-time music chart. And if you are enjoying this broadcast or interested in learning about K-pop album sales, please subscribe to this channel and also like this video. We're moving on to the 7th place. In the 7th place of HANTEO Chart's weekly physical album chart of their week of October is The Boys. Their album Chase was sold 15,640 copies in the last week. This is also the end of the promotion of The Boys. They have been promoting with this title track and the song for 4 weeks. And they have also, with this album, set a new initial Chodong record, which is the first week sales record of the group. And They also received a certificate from HANTEO chart for surpassing the 200,000 copies in initial total record, and thanked the fans, the Bees. And they have also said that they will continuously demonstrate their growth, obviously probably with the album, with the concept, and the new song as well. And that was in the 7th place of HANTEO chart's weekly physical album chart of their week of October, The Boys' Chase, that was sold 15,640 copies in the last week. Moving on to the 6th place. The 6th place of HANTEO chart's weekly physical album chart of their week of October was taken by Very Very. Their album Face Us was sold 18,249 copies last week. And this album is the last of the Face It series, and the title track is called GBTV, and it's a very, I guess, unique and new for Very Very at least. Has a very powerful concept, and the song itself has a very new style, considering the previous release of Very Very's, and very addictive too. So if you probably listen to the song, you probably cannot stop listening to this title track called GBTV, and that was in the 6th place of HANTEO chart's weekly physical album chart of their week of October, Very Very's Face Us, that was sold 18,249 copies in last week. We're at the half point of announcing every artist on the top 10 of HANTEO chart's weekly physical album chart this week. And as you know, this weekly physical album chart is brought to you by HANTEO chart, the world's one and only real-time music chart. And if you have purchased an album last week in order to support your favorite artist, that album purchase has counted towards this week's chart announcement. And next up is the 5th place. In the 5th place of HANTEO chart's weekly physical album chart of their week of October is SF9. Their album Special History Book was sold 36,995 copies last week. And this, like the title, Special History Book, it is a special album from SF9 celebrating their 4th debut anniversary, and this is sort of a gift to Fantasies, the fans. And they have released this album on the day of the debut, obviously to celebrate the debut anniversary. And the title track is called Shine Together. It's very touching, and also the lyrics were written by the members themselves. And there's this album, and also the music video was released for the song, and touched a lot of Fantasies' hearts. And that was in the 5th place of HANTEO chart's weekly physical album chart of the week of October, SF9's Special History Book, that was sold 36,995 copies in the last week. Next up is 4th place. In the 4th place of HANTEO chart's weekly physical album chart of their week of October is Pentagon. Their new album, With, was sold 64,045 copies last week. And this album is pronounced With. It is written as WE:/TH, and it is a combination of the word we along with the actual with. And this is the title of the album that demonstrates Pentagon and Universe, the fans' love of each other. And all the title tracks and the B-side tracks were written by Pentagon themselves, and it sort of contains all the emotions that Pentagon obviously feels towards the fans, and probably vice versa as well. And another latest news is Hui, one of the members, is enlisting for the military after Jinho, who went on to the military earlier. So now we have 2 members of Pentagon serving for military, and hopefully we can continue to see the rest of the members' promotions as well during the period, and we hope that they can finish their military service safe and sound. And that was in the 4th place of HANTEO chart's weekly physical album chart of their week of October, Pentagon's With, that was sold 64,045 copies in the last week. Next up, in the third place. In the third place of HANTEO Chart's weekly physical album chart of third week of October is BLACKPINK. Their album, The Album, was sold 94,095 copies in the last week. This album has recorded the initial Chodong sales record, which is the first week's sales record of 689,000 copies, more than that. And they have recorded and placed first in the initial Chodong record of among all the girl groups that ever existed in K-pop history, and also have placed fourth among the artists who released the album in the year of 2020. So obviously it's an amazing feat, especially for a girl group. And for the record set by the previous album called How You Like That, they have also received the certificate from HANTEO Chart for surpassing the 200,000 copies in initial Chodong record. So congratulations on the amazing record, and also looking forward to the certificates they're going to receive with this album called The Album, that also placed third in HANTEO Chart's weekly physical album chart of third week of October with the album sales amount of 94,095 copies in the third week of October. Now we're only left with 2 albums of this week, and this weekly physical album chart is brought to you by HANTEO Chart, the world's one and only real-time music chart. And if you're enjoying this broadcast or interested in learning about K-pop album sales, please subscribe to this channel and also like this video. And next up, in the second place of HANTEO Chart's weekly physical album chart of third week of October is BTS. Their album, School Love Affair Special Edition, was sold 107,021 copies in last week. And if you have been a fan of BTS for a long time, you probably own this album already or heard about this album. But this particular album was ranked as the album you want to meet again, and was released again as a special edition. And this is a reissue after 6 years since its initial release in 2014. And there are multiple instrumental tracks of the previous track that was listed in this album, like Miss Right. And it not only has a CD with the music, it also has a DVD with the videos, like a making videos or the showcase video at the time. So if you are a fan of BTS, especially if you're a new fan, you definitely want to check out this album/DVD and learn more about the BTS's past. And apparently the cover of the album has also changed slightly compared to the 2014 version. So if you already own the album, it will be also fun to compare the covers and the inserts as well. And that was in the second place of HANTEO Chart's weekly physical album chart of third week of October, BTS School Love Affair Special Edition, that was sold 107,021 copies in last week. We are only left with one artist of this week. In the top one, the very top of HANTEO Chart's weekly physical album chart of third week of October is NCT. Their album, NCT Resonance Part 1, was sold 644,711 copies last week. And this was a very long-awaited comeback of NCT as a very large group. And the title track is called Make a Wish. And 7 members, Taeyong, Doyoung, Jaehyun, Lucas, Xiaojun, Jaemin, and Shotaro, the 7 members are gonna promote as NCT U. And this record, as we already seen, is a very large number, which is also equivalent of the third place among the male groups who have released an album in 2020. And apparently it's obviously a very good result, and we'll look forward to how well the album would do in the coming weeks in terms of album sales. And that was in the first place of HANTEO Chart's weekly physical album chart of third week of October. NCT's album Resonance Part 1 was sold 644,711 copies in the last week. And that's every single album in the top 10 of HANTEO Chart's weekly physical album chart of the week of October. Congratulations to all the artists and the fans who have done very well this week. And if you're curious about how many new albums will be released in the coming weeks and also rank in the weekly physical album chart, definitely check out our app called Whosfan. And on the app, you can see not only the weekly album sales, but also all the real-time daily, monthly, and yearly charts that are very important for the K-pop fans, obviously. And we also have a new design of the chart on our app as well. So if you have been watching the chart on our app, check it out again, and hopefully it is more convenient for you to use. And also, please don't forget to subscribe to WhosfanTV YouTube channel and also like this video, and we'll continue to report on the weekly physical album chart result as well as other K-pop news that's related to the artists who have placed top 10 of the previous week. And that's everything we have this week. Thank you for watching, and this was your host, Jo. See you next week, everyone. Bye.